name is JVS Dr. Neeraj Dhoria, and we are here again to discuss the topic regenerative medicine. In the previous lecture, we have discussed that what is the regenerative medicine, as it is not the medicine, it is a process to regain the function of the degenerated tissues or the organs. So here we generate again the normal function of the organs. In the regenerative medicines, we have discussed three components. One is the tissue engineering, means the making of the artificial tissues. Then stem cell therapy, which is again very important component in the regenerative medicine, and they have the higher capacity to produce the normal cells or the different types of the cells from a single cell. And third one is the biomaterials. So what is the biomaterial? We will discuss in detail somewhat about the biomaterial. It is a biological material. It is not a drug. So we can exclude the drugs. It will be natural or artificial material which can replace the organs or the tissues, or which can be helpful in increasing the efficiency of the normal tissues or organ. So the biomaterial is used for making the scaffold also. So you know that the tissues can be grown in the laboratory, but the tissue, if you grow in the plate, it will develop a clump-like structure. Okay, so we need some material, we need something which can make the cells or in a proper architecture of the tissue. So we use the biomaterials at that place, and we can say these as a scaffolds. So scaffolds are used to give a proper shape of the growing tissues. So what should be the properties of the biomaterial? Biomaterial, because you are going to insert the biomaterial in the human body, if the aim is there, so you need that it should be biocompatible. Biocompatible means it easily acceptable to the human body. Then it should not have the immunological response, means it should not behave like the rejection. So the rejection should not be there. Your immune system is recognize it as itself, not a foreign particle. Then generally the biomaterials we want that if you are putting a scaffold in the human body, the normal cells, our normal cells and our normal system will replace this scaffold or biomaterial simultaneously, and the biomaterial is with the time the biomaterial is degrading and it is replaced by the normal tissues or normal cells. So the biomaterials should have the degradation property. Then the biomaterials, it should be like that it should not corrode. Corrosion should not be there. Okay, because the when you are putting some material, it may possible that due to the pH or the some other chemicals which are present in our body, the material will corrosion. Okay, so the corrosion should not be there. Okay, so there are different types of the biomaterials are available which are used in the regenerative medicine. Like polymers are there. Polymers, for example, the hydrogel, elastomers. Okay. Again, we will discuss in later that what are the natural polymers and artificial polymers. Then ceramics are also used. Then semiconductor materials, for example, the biosensors. Then we can use the metals as the biomaterial. Okay. The bone implants is very common example of the metals. Again, the polymer which is used very in the, if we say the percentage of the biomaterial used, then the polymer will be in the first rank. Polymer is very much highly used, and the polymers can be used natural polymer or the synthetic polymer. So there are some advantages and disadvantages associated with the natural polymer and as well as the synthetic polymer. So let's discuss what is the advantages and disadvantages of the natural polymer. Natural polymer is isolated from the natural substances. It may be isolated from some animals, some plants or some insects. So it is natural, so it is integrated in the our system easily. Okay, it can communicate with our system. Then if it is the natural and it is communicating with our system, so the problem will maybe occur of the antigen antibody reaction or the rejection of that biomaterial. Again, because it is isolated from the animals or the plants, so the bulk amount of the natural polymers is generally not produced. It is a shortcoming, or it is a lacking material, or we can say that we cannot have always the sufficient amount of the natural polymers. Its production is very crucial. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages of the natural polymer. Then talk about the synthetic polymer. The synthetic polymer is the polymer which is not produced naturally. It is made by some synthetic reactions, artificial reactions. So if it is the synthetic, then it generally do not have the immunological reactions. Okay, so it is again it is a plus point with the synthetic material that you can produce the synthetic polymers as you want. Means the amount of the synthetic polymer is not limited. You can produce it artificially, and because it is not a natural thing, so it will not interact with your immune system and it will not give the immunological reactions. So these are the polymers or the biomaterials which are used in the regenerative medicine. So one important example of the biomaterial used in the biotechnology also is the scaffolds. Scaffolds. So what is the scaffolds? When you are growing any tissue in the artificial conditions in the lab, you need to give them a proper shape or proper architecture. So scaffolds are the support, or you can say it gives the some platform to grow the cells in a proper shape. Okay, if you want to grow the skin tissue in the lab, so you need a scaffold, a sheet-like structure will be there, which is made up of the biomaterial, and you will grow the human cells, human skin cells on that. So while with the time these cells will grow itself, will divide and cover the whole biomaterial or scaffold, and it is replaced by the original cells. So biomaterial or the scaffold which simultaneously it is replaced by the natural cells. Okay, and it will grow in a shape of the skin. Okay. In the scaffolds or the biomaterials, we add some growth factors and some chemicals which enhances the proliferation and attachment of the cells. Okay, so these are all about the regenerative medicine. So hope you are satisfied, and thank you.